So this ornamental or decorative type of a windmill, I've had it now for a number of years, but I never did put it together. The problem would be that in the kind of winds that we get around here, the windmill probably wouldn't last too long. So my goal is to assemble the machine but modify it so that the tail will fold with respect to the windmill blades, much the same idea that's been used on American farm windmills for many years. So I want to modify that and see how it works out. Right now there's no overspeed control of any sort, so chances of survival would be slim. So I have the hinge welded on to the tail slash blade rod, and I have it tilted back slightly to give me a little bit more assurance against the blade hitting the legs when it's in full motion. I don't think I'll have a problem with that. The shaft of the blade goes through here. I had to enlarge this to 3/8 of an inch, and I will have a burr here to contain an extension spring to control the force at which the tail folds back. So the hinge now is temporarily in place there. The blades can turn, fold back relative to the tail. Like that. So next I plan to put a flat burr or whatever mounted about like here, and then from this end of the burr I'll have a spring from the tail back to the burr, and that will provide the tension I need to keep the blade in a normal running position relative to the tail until the wind exceeds a certain level, and then the folding action will take place against the spring. This will also act as a limit to the turbine turning in the opposite direction on the hinge. This is where the shaft that the rotor would normally be mounted on with the bearings, but now will mount right here. This is a spring right here, an extension spring. And when the wind on the rotor gets high enough, the tail will maintain its location with respect to the wind, but the pressure on the rotor blade in high winds will cause it to rotate about this axis right here and take a good portion of the rotor out of the wind and control the speed. That's the principle of it. It's found in American farm type water pumping windmills. So I'm going to make a block of wood, actually pressure treated plywood I have, to mount back here on the hinge to give a little extra support for the bearing shaft. And the bearings can't really take any pressure from the tightening of the bolt, so I need to have a little bit of extra support there. So I got the control spring arm now in place. So I'm using nylock nuts here. Rotor axle will go through this hole right here, and the wood just simply provides a way of keeping the axle more or less horizontal rather than flopping just in the metal plate here.